This is your WW3 news. Only the other day, Russian President Putin announced to the world yet another NATO killer weapon they have tested. And obviously they say it shocked the whole world. But it didn't made, this would have been made news headlines if it was the Cuban crisis or the Cold War. Even if both sides they have more or less the nuclear weapons than they had before, than 50 or 60 odd years ago, due to various treaties. Obviously, both parties came out of the so-called treaties, and now they can test these missiles. And looks like Trump gave the go-ahead for the deployment of these so-called Tomahawk missiles, subsonic speed. That means they go around about 500 miles an hour. The so-called reputation of missiles are used in the war with Yugoslavia and even in Syria, which the adversary of these shot them down. So it's not so much a miracle weapon. But mind you, there's an ex-Russian military expert, now as an American citizen, to destroy one of the biggest refineries in Russia. You need more than 100 of them. And it looks like America hasn't got much in deposit of these missiles. They say it's a game changer. But Putin has put on a warning the West. These missiles will be launched on Russian territory, which NATO, through their proxy psychics, Zelensky and Kiev from Ukraine, will launch them when they get them, like whatever type of missiles they got. You need a vast quantity to do a lot of damage. If they got very little, it's all propaganda, and I think the Russians know too well what game the West is playing. And the news of the other day, Russia had one of its worst attacks during the 3-year war with Ukraine. Mind you, this is a war with NATO. Regarding 4 regions with electrical energy. Obviously, there's not much probably said nothing in the West press or even the Russians themselves. Mind you, that these attacks on infrastructures like refineries and manufacturing capacities, if they continue, will take their toll. And probably there might be some type of internal problems in Russia regarding fuel and stuff like that. Or probably Putin is waiting for the moment to strike back in such a way NATO and America, all those neocons, will soil their pants, really, because this mutual destruction thing looks like the West are not so fearful these days. And even if some say nuclear war is survivable, but in nuclear war, any Dickinson, news reporter and novel writer, and when she written her book, she interviewed the top brass of the world of nuclear weapons, who created them, manufactured and deployment, and the military, and all the people behind the triage, which paints a more, say, grim picture of a nuclear war aftermath. If some say it's survival, could be, but no one has lived to tell the tale. Hiroshima,